Hello everybody, welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we're going to be talking about Big Mana White, Zetalpa, a white Elder Dinosaur. Love the fact that Elder Dinosaur, it still works with EDH. You know, it's all the right initials. But this guy, at 8 mana, he is, a little pricey, but he just does all the things. He's a virtual 8/8 because, the double strike. So 4/8 and flying. A lot of things not going to block him. Vigilance, he can, totally block and attack. Trample, because, why not? He's a dinosaur. And, there aren't enough white cards with trample and flying and vigilance. He's almost in a chroma, but not quite. But indestructible is pretty sweet too. Now, the very first thing I thought with this guy is I have got to get this guy into the red zone. This is a general beating right here. So I'm like, all right, if he's unblocked, that's 8 damage. So he's 3 hits to commander damage. We got to be able to narrow that down, and we got to be able to get him out there. I mean, quick. So we will start with the ramp, which there is a ton of. We have our Soul Ring, Ran Dynamo, Cold Steel Heart. I like Cold Steel Heart. There isn't a lot of colors ramp at 2 mana. I mean, especially choose a color, but it's not like we care because in this deck the Cold Steel Heart is essentially the same thing as the Marble Diamond. Thunder Totem, so I mean by the colored mana is usually 3. The Hedron Archive, Gauntlet of Power, of course, doubling your white mana is pretty sweet. Now we're going to get into what I call the sketchy artifact ramp. I mean, yeah, here this is essentially the same thing as the Marble Diamond. It just does colorless, kind of like the Star Compass. The Gold Mirror is pretty much the same thing because it's got Summoning Sickness, so it's not like you can do it right away. Opaline Unicorn. I mean, we are seriously trying to ramp here and get this guy out as quickly as possible. Paradise Plume's all right. I mean, obviously we're choosing white, but 4 mana for that. I mean, yeah, you're gaining incidental life, but Paradise Plume, that's proof that you're wanting it bad. And then, of course, we have our Burnished Heart and our good friend to go with our Burnished Heart, Mr. Sun Titan. Now, granted, that Sun Titan is probably only getting back to Burnished Heart because there aren't that many creatures in the deck. I believe there's Burnished Heart, there's Sun Titan, and there is Awakening Sun's Avatar. And the Awakening Sun's Avatar, let's go ahead and just start with the whole goodness of the mass removal. Because, I mean, it's going to kill everything but him and your general, and that's fine. It's going to lose some power. This set is going to create a few more tribal dinosaur EDH decks out there, but I don't think it's going to weaken the Avatar's ability that much. So we have our standard complement here. I mean, we've got the Wrath of God, the Kurtar's Wrath. I mean, Mass Calcify is perfect for our deck. End Hostilities. We got to be careful with this one, though, because we've got some equipment in here. Sun Scour, Martial Coup. Divine Reckoning fits like a glove, too, because, I'll just keep my general, and that's fine. Terminus is going to get... I run Terminus to deal with those indestructible or hexproof guys that are just problematic. Scour Glass. Oh, there's another creature. Sunblast Angel. Yeah. Now, individual spot removal. I guess, as it were. We have Sword to Plowshare. That particular Sword to Plowshare I have probably cast a million times, evidently before I had sleeves. But we have Plowshare, Condemn, Purge. The Exile is valid here, and black or red is those are the colors that you want to be doing. Now, I love me some underplayed cards. Y'all know that. Afterlife here, there aren't many white cards that use those first three words. Destroy target creature. That is a phrase no one expects out of a white deck. Yes, they get a 1/1 spirit. I don't care. That is way better than probably their creature combo piece. Humble is another one that I consider removal. Just because, I mean, it's going to die in combat if that happens. Yeah, there are times you get in dire straits and, you're going to lose and you just humble something just to take no damage that turn. But, I don't know. Sometimes it works, I guess, and sometimes it doesn't. Of course, our standard disenchant and erase. Now, I know I shouldn't like erase, but I do at 1 mana. It exiles it. I like it. Banishing Light, Prison Term, Wing Shards, because there's still those people that haven't learned the lesson who will cast a whole bunch of things before they attack. And then Patrician Scorn. Now, I like the Patrician Scorn just because it's free. There's a whole bunch of versions of the white Destroy All Enchantments thing, and we don't have that many. I mean, we got a few, but not a whole lot. But I like the Scorn because it's free. Now, here's 3 cards that I figure with all that ramp, let's investigate some buyback. Why not? Now, I've got all of the white buyback cards that are buyback for mana, not like sacking land or stuff like that, but because I figure we're going to have mana. Prevent up to 3 damage to any creature. This could be relevant to our general because, I mean, essentially we're looking at a 1-man army here. Zetalpa is our man, and he is going the distance. Alley, I don't know. Buyback enchantment removal, and then Change of Heart. This could also be relevant. I mean, I love buyback. I feel like white got the shaft on buyback, but I am hoping that it has been. Now, we only saw it in Tempest Block, and of course, cards have been reprinted from Tempest Block, and that has been a terribly long time ago. It doesn't look like they're going to give it to us again outside of random reprints. But I don't know. There's a lot of cool abilities that didn't exist then that exist now that I would love to see on a repeatable card. But yeah, if I had my way, the game would probably break down with power. But anyway, let's look at the magic power of 7, because 7 is where we want, is what we want to give our generals +7, because he's 4. If we give him +7, that gets him up to 11. Double strike, it's a 1-hit kill. So we're going to do some things like we're going to Voltron this guy up. Bone Splitter, the most cheap efficient that there ever was. Stratus Scythe in a monocolor deck is amazing. Argentium Armor is the only thing that keeps Argentium Armor down is its buy-in, pretty much. But 6 and 6 in this deck, I do not foresee that being a problem. I think we can afford to cast it probably every time it's in your hand. Well, I mean, assuming it's not there in the opening hand. We got the Loxodon Warhammer, because why not have lifelink-ish? Not really lifelink, but why not have it with all the other stuff you've got, right? Swiftfoot boots. Keep him safe. Get him some Uggs. Uh, wow, he is kind of basic, isn't he? Anyway, Mask of Avacyn. Now, Ogre's Cleaver is a card you don't see in a whole lot of decks, but +5. And, I mean, you can play it early to get it out, and then, I mean, the equip 5 almost doesn't matter because your the guy that you want to attach it to is 8. So by the time you're ready to swing with your guy, you've got the 5 mana. Hedron Matrix, though, gets there. That is exactly what you want to be doing because, his mana cost is 8. Hedron Matrix is probably the equipment that you want. Now, Sword of Cauldron ain't bad. 5/5 and exile and stuff. The exile is also relevant. Let's look at our enchantments. Now, I've always thought, I don't know what Wizards' policy is on the mask, but I've always thought this was an exceptional rate. 1 mana, protection from your 2 enemies. Whoa. This is a pretty big deal. Divine Transformation. Yeah, right. It's like the #1 card you didn't think you would see. +3/+3 permanently for 4. This is, I mean, it's not exceptional, but once you talk, it brings Zetalpa from 4 up to 7, and that's 14 gen. Armored Ascension is, of course, it also gets you there. But my favorite creature enchantment of all time, this printing, the revised printing of Blessing, revised and before. I like the revised because of the white border. Unlimited had white border too, but I like the faded outness of the white, of the revised. But that text box is awesome. For those that don't know, this is just till end of turn, and it is the best fire breathing rate that there is, because +1/+1 for a white. And, we're going to have the white mana. Now, let's see. Scout's Warning, because in response, play a big old 4/8 nasty dinosaur is pretty sweet. And you get to draw a card out of it. Mana Tithe is another teaching card. The reason why I say it is because, a Force Spike doesn't look that great in EDH, but it is. I firmly believe that the Mana Tithe is better than the Force Spike because going up against a blue deck, you are expecting counterspells. Against a white deck, not so much. And people love value. We all do. I do too. If we draw that X spell, or if we have exact mana, we will tap out to play that thing that's been in our hand or our general. We will do it every time. Especially, you look around the board, there's not a single blue mana, and you're like, yeah, I got this. But people want that value. They want that 1 point extra damage in that fireball or whatever it is. And Mana Tithe, it's a blowout sometimes. Dawn Charm. Preventing a fog, regenerating your general, or countering a spell that targets me. Here again, this is another card that I feel like doesn't get played a lot. Yes, there are better versions, but if you're running, Holy Day, then you should probably consider looking at Dawn Charm. And of course, Face Reward. We do have an amazing amount of artifacts in the deck between our ramp and our equipment, and it would really, really suck to get all of them blown up. Now, Face Reward also has a very, very beautiful synergy. You can float your mana. Say you're going to tap 8 mana, and then you're going to Armageddon. And then you're going to cast Face Reward. That, 2-card combo pretty much wins you the game, because to Armageddon everyone else, you get all your stuff back. I believe that's... Let's make sure that this Joker works this way. Return to the battlefield all permanent cards in your graveyard. Yeah, see? So I'm getting all my lands back, and you don't have no lands, and sorry? Yeah. Hashtag full apology. Anyway, Armageddon, I was kind of an early entry. I went, look at all this artifact ramp. I can probably do with, just blowing it up. Now, I didn't do all the other Armageddons. I figured 1 is probably the right number. I don't want it to be like a Geddon deck, because then you got to completely revamp with eggs and whatever. But anyway, the last card that I've got is, hey, our general's indestructible, right? Yeah. Indestructible generals love World Slayer. Focus. And this is just a beating. Here again, World Slayer on your general. Once you connect the first time with anyone, it's kind of over. It almost makes me want to play with like silence type abilities so that I can make sure to get that one hit, but I don't know. So, what is that? Exactly a 1% chance? Maybe a little less, more, whatever. Anyway, that is Zetalpa. I do appreciate you watching. Y'all let me know what you think. I will not be able to go in Wooburg order with these because I didn't get all of them. I'll have to wait till some of the... I guess maybe by the time that y'all see this, the set will be out, and I'll be cracking packs and building decks and all that jazz. Just wanting to get enough to build these decks. Anyway, thank you very much. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.